Hi everyone, it's Justine. In the previous episode of this series about fit, we looked at suits, the jackets and the trousers. If you've missed that episode, it's not too late. It's linked here in the corner and in the description below this video. But today we're looking at how a women's shirt should fit, and it's not an easy one. So I'm going to go step by step. That is a shirt that fits me okay. It's not perfect because it's a standard size. I haven't had it taken in or anything, and it was very cheap. But it's good enough to show you as an example. First, when you close the collar, can you still put 2 fingers between your neck and your shirt? If so, that's good. It means that you can breathe. Even in a meeting, when you get nervous and you might start hyperventilating, you need extra space around the neck because the neck expands. Then the first criteria that can make you look at a shirt and then put it straight back onto the rack without buying it is the sleeve length. If you stretch your arm like this, the sleeve should land just a bit shorter than where your wrist is, not shorter than that. The cuffs should be tight enough so that you can't take them off without opening the buttons. That's the indicator. Once we've got the basics checked, let's move on to the bodice itself. The shoulder seam sits at the end of your shoulder, before the shoulder becomes rounder and starts to go down. It's the same for a blazer or a tailored jacket with maybe half a centimeter more space. Checking the shoulder seam is a good way of knowing whether you picked the right size or if you need to go one size up or down. Then the side seams. The shirt must sit close enough under the armpits but not touch them. If you don't have enough space here, it will be too tight, and if you sweat, it's going to show immediately. If you try on shirts by multiple different brands, you will very quickly start to notice one thing. The width under the armpits here that I just explained, and the length of the sleeves vary dramatically based on which country the brand you're looking at is coming from. For instance, if you take a Portuguese or a Spanish brand, it will be relatively wide here under the armpits for quite short sleeves. That's for shorter people. If you look at Northern European brands, you will see that the sleeves are super long, even though it's still quite narrow here under the armpits. So, if you're rather shorter, look for Southern European brands to shop for. And if you're rather taller, look in Northern Europe. Going down the side seam, there isn't really a rule as to how tight the fit should be. The tailoring of the garment must be to your taste, that's it. Do you like a straighter cut, or do you like it tighter around the waist? Currently, the trend is to have a bit of definition at the waist level, but not too much. Now the bust, and this is a tailor's nightmare because we're trying to make something flat and stiff, which is fabric, fit around something that is completely rounded. So the solution is to add darts, places where the fabric is being taken in. It can be on the sides horizontally, a bit underneath the breasts, or frankly vertically like on my shirt. What matters is how much fabric is being taken in. The more busty you are, the more you need to take in. If you stand straight and you put your arms back like this, it should not be tight around the breast, otherwise the pattern is too flat for you. You know, slim shirts that are super flat, they look good on flat-chested models. They are very straight. If you're busty, this type of shirt is not going to fit, and you can't solve it by bringing it to a tailor later because correcting the waist won't solve the problem here around the bust in the armhole. It's way too much work. I would instead, in your case, rather try to look for shirts that do have darts. And the button placement is important too. You need the buttons to be well placed to avoid showing your bra. Right between the breasts, here, you need a button. Now let's look at the back of the shirt. If you cross your arms in front of you, it shouldn't be too tight in the back. Breathe in deeply. Do you still have enough space to feel comfortable? If not, this shirt is not fitting. And last but not least, the length of a shirt should be longer than for regular tops if you wish to tuck it into your trousers. When you raise your arms up completely, the shirt should not come out. That's it. I've written those points again in the description of the video. Feel free to take that checklist with you when you go shirt shopping. Thumbs up if you found this video useful, helpful. Thank you so much. You saw in the end there are points that you can solve very easily by just going one size up or down, like where the shoulder seam is placed or how long the sleeves are. There are other points that you just can't solve. Sometimes you're looking at a shirt that doesn't work, not just on your body, but on anyone. It's often the case in cheap productions where it's constructed wrong. The pattern is just wrong. A good shirt can't be too cheap, so stay away from cheap shirts, because you saw they are such a complicated thing to make fit, and the pattern is a very complex thing to realize. Subscribe to this channel by clicking on my head here, and see you very soon for a new video. Take care. Bye bye.